Let's get started. So Diane, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, welcome everybody. We are so grateful that you guys are taking time on a Friday afternoon to share this with us. My name is Diane Bach. I teach music at SoCal Elementary, and I've been teaching there. I've been teaching almost 30 years. I was a bilingual classroom teacher first, and then had a chance to put music and teaching together. So what's especially exciting for me with this program is I have the sort of lens of a classroom teacher and a music teacher. So we really worked hard to make this program super accessible and really rich for everybody. So thank you for coming.
Hi everybody, I am Katrina Hager and I'm the music teacher at Bayview and Westlake Elementary Schools, as well as the band teacher. And I'm also on the board of the Central Coast section of the California Music Educators and the organizer for the Young Ensemble Showcase. And if you're curious about that, you can email me, and my email address will be available at the end. And then we have Audrey here with us today.
Hello. Just writing some notes. I'm Audrey Sirota, the arts coordinator, and I think I know almost everyone. I'm the arts coordinator for the Santa Cruz County Office of Education.
And if you haven't already put your name and what and where you teach in the chat, please do that, and your email address, so that we can send you the slides for everything that we're teaching today. And Diane, did you figure that little portion out if you hover over the bottom?
I
maybe
haven't. I haven't yet.
Okay,
I'm
I
sorry.
think it's because I'm the one presenting, so I'm
but
just
I can
gonna
just go, I guess, to the next slide.
I'm gonna keep moving on. We're on slide 4.
Which
Diane
one is
and I
this,
worked
Katrina?
out.
I'm sorry.
So this is me.
Is
So
slide,
we are
what number it is?
curious.
You know
This
what?
is
I'm going to
slide
go
4.
back to the other sound because I'm not able to hear you guys.
Okay, just take your
Is that
earbuds
okay?
out.
And then I can just mute at that point.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
That's fine. So we're curious about how your school has participated in the Symphony in the past, or whether they have or not, and also whether you've been using LINK UP, and if so, how, if you're able to share that with us, and if not, that's totally fine too. We are glad that you're here to share in this program today.
Okay, so today's session, what we are hoping to cover with everybody is a brief introduction to the Orchestra Rocks, which was our first link up ever, and we all loved it. So we were really excited to get to share this one again. And then we worked to organize the 6 pieces of music into 6 sections. So, and that's a consistency through all of the music. So we wanted to share those with you today. And then
we have, it says 7 on there, Diane. I just wanted to clarify that the 7th one is all just about the symphony orchestra. So it's just kind of a bonus
that we wanted to share out. And then today we're going to give a super brief introduction using one piece of music to sort of blaze through how we've organized them, and then give you guys a chance to play with it, to just sort of explore it, push buttons, check it out, and kind of see how we built a lot of flexibility into the process. So it's not a linear approach and really accessible for all of us as teachers. And then the last part on this slide that we're going to look at is our big words of synchronous and asynchronous teaching styles. So Katrina's put together some ideas, some starting points for thoughts about how we could do this direct teaching, and then how our students could work on aspects of this on their own or in breakout rooms.
And here are just a couple of ideas that I had initially. If you're teaching live synchronous lessons, you could throw it into present mode and have your students unmute themselves and read aloud. And when we come back together at the end, you'll have a chance to see the lesson and you'll get your own ideas and we can share some more from there. But you can do some breakout rooms and have students work on a particular section and then share back, or maybe they're practicing the recorder parts together or some of the music things. And then some assessment that you might try, creating ed puzzles with some of the videos that are embedded in the lessons. And if you don't know what ed puzzle is, I'm happy to share with that at the end. And then Kahoot is also a fabulous way to engage your students. You can do it live and you can do it student-led paced. And then students may be answering questions in the chat. And I'm sure you guys all have wonderful and even more ideas as you look at the lessons. And then asynchronous, which is what I'm going to be doing this year, is maybe you just create your own video of how you would teach one particular section of it. And then of course you could do even an ed puzzle where you've embedded questions within your teaching video. You could copy a section of the slideshow and then assign it within Google Classroom for the week's lesson. And then some of the same student assessments that I just listed, including Pear Deck, which I'm learning about, where you can embed the questions within the slides. All of this will make more sense, obviously, once we start digging into the lesson. And if you have any ideas as you're watching and listening, please throw them in the chat too, so we can share them with everybody.
And then we're going to put this at the end as well, but we wanted to just have you guys keep in mind that on Monday on the 24th from 1:30 to 3:30, we will go through this process we're going to do super briefly today in much more detail, in much more depth, because it's really, we really want each of us as teachers to have a chance to play with this and just explore and kind of brainstorm ideas together, because each piece has its own little phenomenal musical nugget or little gem that we want to discover together. So we will be sending updated emails for with the PD sign up and concert information and how the concert's going to be presented. And anything that we aren't able to answer today, Audrey's going to take note of and we'll be able to respond to. And Katrina and I will give you our emails as well, because we really want this to be a collaborative process for all of us this year.
So I'm going to show you a brief video about Link Up, which is a curriculum that was created by Carnegie Hall and shared across schools and symphonies throughout America. And keep in mind that this video we're watching is for a live performance. But of course, planning now, we are looking at a virtual performance. And so hopefully we'll be able to find all kinds of ways to make that as engaging and rich as possible for the students.
Link Up is our program for 3rd through 5th graders, and it is all about introducing students to the orchestra by helping them get ready to become a part of it. They've been learning the melodies that they're going to play either on the recorder or that they're going to sing. If they happen to be fortunate enough to be in a string program, they might be learning some of those melodies on string instruments. And then they come to the concert, they're ready to play and sing. The performance is highly participatory. It's all about becoming a part of the Link Up ensemble.
It's just an amazing program with an amazing curriculum.
It's cool how you can choose if you want to sing or play the recorder. And if you play the recorder, you can hear what other instruments sound like with the recorder.
I thought the concert was great, really exciting, lively.
There are 3 versions of Link Up. Link Up the Orchestra Rocks, which is all about rhythm. Link Up the Orchestra Sings, about melody. And Link Up the Orchestra Moves, which is about moving a melodic motif around the ensemble.
It has been an amazing time just teaching my students and getting to see the joy on their faces when they are getting to know this great music.
So when we think about making Link Up concerts, we are thinking about how to make that experience for students something that they will remember for the rest of their lives.
This is you, Diane.
Okay, I didn't want my sound to get confused, I'm sorry. So we have fallen in love with Link Up. Lee Duffy brought this program to us about, Audrey, 6 years ago, maybe? Something like that.
4
years ago. Okay, sorry.
Feels like we've been using it longer.
And it's so wonderful because there's so many aspects to it, and it's interactive opportunity for our kids to get to go to the symphony, but in a meaningful way. They've had a chance to experience the music, learn the music vocally, movement, and with recorder. So when they get there, they really do feel like a part of it, that they own part of it. And the auditorium was filled with their peers who have also been through it. Coming from a classroom teacher, the integration potential and opportunities are so huge. So much in music, you know, for example, comes from Italian. So many of my Spanish speaking students are right in there with the vocabulary. And last year there was a beautiful piece in Spanish. We're going to tap into geography, where these composers come from, take a look at socially what was happening at the time. We all understand in rhythm, there's so much basic math that we can bring into our bodies. So we just love it as a means for connecting arts and other areas of curriculum. And the other part of it is that Katrina and I and Audrey and this whole program have set it up to be ready to teach, and a lot of flexibility. And we're going to keep talking about that with you guys today. We want you to take and pick what sings to you, what speaks to you, and really make it your own. And we've really worked hard to make it full, yet very flexible in both a distance learning and a in-person platform. So please know that we've really thought that through and are looking for more ideas, but that has definitely been a big passion of ours, is that we want everybody to fall in love with it. So, yep.
And the other 2 things I wanted to add was, if you don't teach recorders, don't worry. That is not, it's not absolutely required. Any little nuggets that your kids can bring from these lessons into their performance is just going to make it a richer experience. So if you don't teach recorder, don't freak out about that. But it does make it a really nice addition. And the other thing is that if you've never used Google Slides for teaching before, I highly recommend it. I've been using PowerPoint for many, many years just to organize my thoughts and the sequence of how I would teach something. You can embed all of your videos and everything that you would use for the lesson just right there in order of how you would teach it. You can add to it. You can take away, even if you don't project everything that's on your slides, it gives you a fantastic way to organize your information. And then you'll get copies of these slides and you can make your own. You can embed whatever videos or other little lesson nuggets that you have to personalize it yourself. So at this point, I'm gonna exit out of the present mode so that you can see kind of the teacher organization. And we're going to look at how the lessons are organized, and then we'll take a look at ANVIL Chorus specifically so that you can really get your hands on it. So the lessons are organized, the 6 lessons are all organized the same. So first you're going to see this bright red header with the song title and the symphony or ballet that it comes from and the composer. And then you will get kind of a reminder of what the lesson format is. Now in PowerPoint, you can add section headers, but Google Slides doesn't allow us to do that. So I got creative and fancy and tried to give you a header, as you can see, to each section that really stands out. I put a little movable GIF too, so that your eye just kind of goes straight to the section header. And then background colors that really make those separate sections pop out. So the reason for this is maybe you have already taught one particular section and you want to go straight to the next section, or you've decided you want to teach it in a different order, or you want to really focus, maybe you're a classroom teacher and this is going to be like your focus. I put it in the order of how I would probably teach but it's totally up to you and how you want to teach these lessons. So you can skip around as you feel. And then now we're going to take a look at ANVIL chorus. I did want to show you actually, so here are the 6 different lessons. So we've got ANVIL chorus is the first one. Just briefly, I'll show you. We've got In the Field Stood a Birch Tree. We have the Dance of the Adolescents. And again, they're all organized the same way. O Fortuna, Mars, and Drumlines. Sorry, that's not on the header. And then the last bonus lesson that we're still preparing for you is the Symphony Orchestra, so that you can teach the instruments of the orchestra and have a reference point for maybe some of the musical terms that you or your students aren't as familiar with. So right now, Diane's going to just give you a brief flow of the ANVIL chorus, which is what we're going to put into your hands in just a moment and put you into some breakout rooms so you can work with them.
Okay, so now I'm going to share.
So you, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm on, and then.
And did you share your sound?
I did.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your patience, everybody. This is definitely a learning curve for all of us, or learning curve for me, I should say. Okay, so it's
All of us.
All of us.
Okay. So what I wanted to do is jump to, this is where being in present mode is a little, let's see if I can get to the one I wanted to jump back to. Okay, this is one I wanted to show. And I said I was going to keep coming back to this. So for me, you know, Katrina and I talked a lot about this sort of sequence of approaching the lesson, but especially when we go to exploration in a minute to breakout rooms, you know, what I like to do with the new piece of music is sort of start with what I would teach most easily, my highest comfort level, and then maybe click on an area in the composition that I might not be very familiar with at all, and just to sort of play around with it, right? Because we really want to encourage you guys to try everything, but then to know that there's more here than probably any one of us would ever teach. And that's part of what we wanted to do, is give a lot of choice and flexibility. So I'm gonna go back to walking through this really, really briefly in the order that we organized it. So we have our ANVIL chorus, the title for it, and Katrina's awesome gifts. And then the brief listening, a little bit about the ANVIL chorus. And then what I wanted to make sure was that we had an opportunity just to show, I'm gonna do maybe 20 seconds of an introduction to the opera, to this element of it. Okay, were you guys able to hear that? Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's just cutting out a little bit.
It's really a fabulous way for your students right away to get to sort of see a real life example of this piece of music. And then we have slides with the history, geography, and biography of Verdi. A little bit of geography. And the goddess Zingarella in the song. And then we found some amazing videos of anvils, because my students didn't know what an anvil was. And this was really, really an interesting video. And then fun facts and fun versions, because this particular piece of music has been, here's a contemporary interpretation, Buttons and Doors from The Incredibles. And so all kinds of videos that incorporate this music in different ways to bring sort of a contemporary, fun interpretation of it, activities and movements, because we're such oriented people that we want kids to be able to move and play with it. A little bit about form. And in all of these, Katrina has embedded the musical examples to accompany the activity. So all you'll need to do is click on this and the music is already there for you, as opposed to having to go back and forth. Oops. And then, I lose my place here. Strong beats and weak beats, aspects, musical aspects, and movement, and then vocals with some teacher-led examples, and then the recorder, if that's something that you want to teach. And if it's something you want to teach and you're not comfortable with it, you can email us and we would be happy to help. So here's the vocals and the recorder being taught basic level as well as an advanced level. And each slide really isolates one level of skill so it's not overwhelming to our students, which for me, I have found is really, really, really important. I tend to try to do too much too fast, and that never really seems to work.
Well, and the idea too with all of the different recorder videos, and a lot of those are things that we've found on the internet that other teachers have shared, is that you would use obviously what your students are ready for and what you feel comfortable with. So there are some of them that actually have teacher demonstration, and maybe you don't need that. And then others that, you know, get to a more advanced level. So there are multiple versions in that particular one to choose from.
Okay, so now, Katrina, I need help getting back out.
So you're gonna click on stop sharing.
Okay, thank you.
And then Audrey, did you get a chance to share the ANVIL chorus with everybody?
I did. In fact, I put it in the chat.
Oh, cool.
So could people either thumbs up in real time on Zoom or in the chat put that they can see it? It's right here. Okay. I see Elizabeth. Dirk, you've got it. Lee has a question. Yes, Lee. I see your hand up. Or maybe you were trying to do a thumb up.
Could be a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I got
okay,
it.
good. And then Juan and Kate, are you good? It's right in the chat. Yes, Kate has it. Juan, can you see it? Got it? And Vivian, I know we lost your screen. You got it?
Are you talking about your background?
No, I'm talking about in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I put the ANVIL chorus link. So you can,
yeah, I saw it.
Okay, good. So everybody can go in there.
Okay,
yeah.
and so what we were going to invite you guys to do, Audrey's going to put us in, or I don't know about us, is it everybody?
Yes.
Us included, okay, into breakout rooms. And what we wanted to do was, having literally blazed through the structure of the lessons, give you guys an opportunity to take about 10 minutes and just explore and just play. And then we're going to come back together in 10 minutes and just share reflections, ideas, questions, things that pop into your mind. So whatever time we have today, we can focus on those. And also when we meet on the 24th, more deeply go into anything between now and then that Katrina and Audrey and I can explore and have prepared for everybody. So that's sort of
the other 6 presentations we'll be able to share with you then.
Yeah, and we'll have a chance to really dig deeply into each one of them at that point.
I need a little bit of feedback. I was going to put us in groups of 2. Does that sound okay? Or would you rather have a group of 3 or 4? Any participants want to chime in on that? Doesn't matter? Any thoughts? Okay, I'm going to keep us in groups of 2, so you'll have one partner.
Okay, and Audrey, you do all that and sign and the time part, right?
Yes.
The breakout rooms. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Here we go.
Thank goodness.
Welcome back, everyone.
So, so at this point, we would love for you, let me get it on the right slide here. We would love for you to share with us what you experienced and some things that maybe popped out at you. Did anybody have any other ideas for how you might teach this in your class, or any questions that you have for us?
And Elizabeth, you could finish your question because you were in the middle of a great thought. I'm sorry, we got kicked out.
No worries. Yeah, I was just thinking about how I love the way you set this up with all the layers for that one piece. And I was saying, like, master teachers seem to have a way of doing that, of with every, even if it's like a 20-minute lesson, there's this layer and this layer and this layer all bringing it to life. And so I love how you brought like geography with the visual and the modern day connection all with this one melody. That was cool.
That's a great comment, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing that.
Audrey, I shared this, I kind of directed Elizabeth and I to the smashing glass.
So I directed Lee and Vivian too. We have to remember to tell our students that they cannot try that at home.
Right. I could just put it right on the slide.
Yeah, not try this at home. Yeah, we probably should, Katrina.
Yeah.
Well, I just love the way that these PowerPoints are organized. You know, kind of takes, I think it's great the way you do it, like you have a little introduction and then the, you know, integrated information like geography and history, and then take it back to music, musical goals and concepts, and then have some fun facts and contemporary information in there. I think they're great. So,
awesome.
My comment.
Thank you. Glad that you guys find that they're useful. Did anybody come up with any other ideas other than what I've posted there? I know we're all learning so much about the digital tools that we have at our access now. And I spent a little bit of time this week with Pear Deck. Have any of you guys used Pear Deck?
I've used Nearpod.
And what is that?
Very similar to Pear Deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Pear Deck, if you're not familiar with it, is a way that you can, it actually integrates with Google Slides so that, and they have their own pre-made little question slides that become interactive. So your kids can actually click on the slide to answer the question right within where you want them to answer it. So that's a really cool tool that I've been looking at this week. And then Kahoot, have you guys played Kahoot? So Kahoot is like an online game show.
Kids love it.
They absolutely love it. My band kids last year were like, if we didn't play Kahoot, they were super disappointed. It can be a little bit competitive because you get points for like answering the fastest and answering the correct answers, and so you may not want to use it all the time, but it's kind of a fun little way to just kind of sprinkle in a little challenge. And then at the end, they highlight who got the most points and have this whole little virtual ceremony. And but it can actually be used to teach material. They have their own little slides that you can integrate within Kahoot. So I highly recommend checking into it. And it's got its own little music in the background, and it's super fun. And then Edpuzzle, if you haven't worked with Edpuzzle, that is another really great resource. You can take videos. I don't think they're specific to YouTube, but they might be, that you pull in from YouTube. So if you created a video, it would be, you have your own YouTube page or whatever, and you pull in that video, and then within the video, you can have it stop at a certain point, and it will ask either a multiple choice question or a short answer question that the kids have to answer before they can continue watching the video. So that's another just interactive way to kind of keep them engaged and listening and making sure that they're not tuning out.
Thank you, Katrina. I just am noticing the time, and we have just a couple minutes, and I know there were a couple. Lee Duffus wanted to share one piece of information, and Kate had to step off, but it looks like one of the board members for the Symphony has offered to buy recorders for any teacher who needs it across the county. So if you need recorders, would you please post it in the chat right now? I'm going to copy the chat so I can start to get a numbers list going.
And share that with your colleagues too.
Yes. So it can be classroom teachers too that want to incorporate this during this time.
And on that note, Audrey, because Juan and I were talking about that, and he said our kid's going to have recorders. Well, we at our school are kind of looking at doing the go bag and putting together little packets for each student that has a disinfected recorder, shaker egg, a set of chopsticks or rhythm sticks or something. So that could be part of your go bag.
Yeah. And for PVUSD, I think they're doing things a little bit differently, but Juan, thanks for posting it. You only need 32 for one class? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then please post it. Dirk, if you need any, let us know.
And Audrey had
let us know.
Tell you about that. Audrey had done an amazing job, or put together a program this summer where teachers were able to connect every other week or every week to share ideas and things. So I would really encourage, and Katrina and I can figure out, whereas if you come up with a great Kahoot that goes with a lesson, right? Music, Katrina, a teacher could share it with other music teachers teaching this same content, right?
Yes.
That would be awesome. I wonder if there's a way that we could have some kind of, well, you know what we could do is within the Google Drive that everybody will get, is to put that, maybe make a separate folder with games.
Yeah.
Something, or resources that you've discovered.
Did is we built a Google Classroom so we could house a lot of stuff, which we can do. I know we have to go, but there's one more announcement from Lee Duffus. Lee, do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you go ahead and do it.
Okay, so there's a program that Lee is in charge of, actually, called the Classical Music in the Classroom program, and it's all digitized now, and it sounds like several teachers at Westlake are going to be using it, Katrina, to start off their regular general education classroom time. And you play a short piece of classical music, and then there's usually a question, 2 or 3 questions to go with it to spark students' interest. And you do it every day. It's kind of a routine, becomes a routine, and it's amazing the impact that it has on students after a year of listening to classical music. So anybody who would like that free program, you can put it in the chat. You can contact me or Katrina or Diane, and we'll get that to Lee. And Lee kind of manages the account for it. It's called CMC. So please let us know. So you're letting us know if you need recorders, and you're letting us know if you want access to CMC. And again, if you're not sure, you can contact us at any time. And on August 24th, we're going to be releasing all 7 of these programs, of the selections, 6 of the selections and the 7th on the Symphony. If you can't make that PD, we're going to offer like 4 or 5 through the fall. So you will, and if you know me, which most of you do, you can just email me and say, I can't attend the PD, but can I have all the songs? And you've got it. Anything we can do to support you.
And Katrina, I think I speak for both of us. Please email us with thoughts, ideas, questions. I mean, we pretty much live at school, even though we're doing it this way. And we really want to, keep the arts happening deeply and, connected throughout our county. And this is a really pivotal year for all of us as arts teachers and just all teachers, just keeping that part alive. So please stay in touch.
Yeah, and on that note, with the Young Ensemble Showcase, we will probably be looking at how to do that virtually as well. So if it's something that you have been curious about, and I know none of us are actually with our students, but if you have some creative ideas about how to get your kids performing in the community, connect with me about that. Because we just want to get all schools represented. We would love to get, your school and you out into not only the community, but networking. It's such a great way to network with other music teachers and kind of share what you're doing with your students and to, just to meet each other and see each other's kids.
We're going to have to send you away now because for your next session, but we know how to find us. Thank you for being here. And we'll talk again very soon, I'm sure.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. It's great.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank
Bye.
you.